Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to
Hey,
the live look, episode number 101. We don't know what we're doing.
no, we don't. We never did.
We never did.
But, but we used to be good at like going through the motions. We forgot that in the last couple of weeks.
We never did. We never will. But yeah, we pretended to know what we were doing for a little bit. And we got pretty good at it.
Exactly. Oh, so we we don't
Any
we,
news
we
that you
barely even have.
guys in the past, I think, 3 weeks that you guys have heard and you listened to the show and didn't hear us discuss, please let us know because we're going back 3 weeks because that's the last time we were on here discussing news. So anything after that we have not discussed or you haven't heard us discuss, just feel free to just share it because I have no clue. We have no clue what to talk about. We have two things up on there, and I'll let you guys know that so that you guys don't say that as well. We have the Kings Island Camp Cedar investment to talk about with that. We also have the Luna Park Intamin first Intamin hot racer, which is just the first single rail Intamin coaster. That's all we can
Oh,
think of.
Alabama,
Oh yeah, we're
Alabama
talking about the
Splash
Alabama
Adventure.
Splash Adventure. Yeah, that wasn't posted yet. So, um, yeah, and how they are doing a water park investment, and I'm sure Bob will rag on me for that
Oh yeah, oh yeah, it's coming.
because he's never been wrong before.
And you rag on me when I'm wrong, so
I'm just gonna. I have a retort though. That's gonna be great. Just wait. I was already anticipating that. All right. So, other than that, though, guys, we are pretty much dead in the water here. I guess we could. What are we gonna talk about when we get back in the weekly polls? We don't have a weekly poll this week.
oh god, can't think. See, and we were actually on early. This is why it's like so much better for like me to get on like shortly before we go live because then we're behind the eight ball and like we hustle, or at least I do.
Oh,
I
boo
suck
you!
when I have extra time.
I know you start talking to Daniel about Kennywood and then the whole how the workforce is just done and we're just all screwed and
You're all screwed. But like that's the thing. Like even when I like if I have to be somewhere, like if I have to be at work really early, which early for me is like 10 a.m. Um, like if I get up early and I'm like, oh, I have time. Like I'm like watching TV, and then I'm like, oh crap. Like I'm like, oh, I have time to watch TV, so I'll watch a little TV, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, I'm late. But if I wake up almost with enough time, like oh, I gotta go, and then I get out the door like fairly, like pretty much on time.
I guess I should delete all these extra marks because I don't think maybe I'll keep one just in case we find something.
Oh my god.
What?
I said the sub is like getting as bad as CNN because of the breaking news thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody posted like a thread or the breaking news and like it wasn't anything. And I'm like, oh, it's as bad as CNN. Meaning like they're always saying there's breaking news. And this dude just jumped all over me about like CNN isn't bad just because they report factual numbers that differ with some people's version of reality. Like Like, what the hell are you talking about? I just said they say breaking news. And I'm like, I can't even say CNN without people assuming I have a political agenda and like, oh my God, he lost it. And the thing is this guy's coming from a position that most likely I have the same political side that he does. And he's arguing it's just ridiculous. Like it's unreal. Like people get triggered so badly over stupid stuff. Like not even just stupid stuff, but like stuff that isn't even like like that's not even what I was talking about. Like, what the hell? I don't. Oh, it's unreal.
Social justice warriors. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
Coming to get you. Oh,
It's just it's unreal.
F it. I'm honestly just gonna start pulling questions from Reddit. Will Six Flags Over Texas get a new coaster anytime soon? Let's just talk about that.
Yeah.
Start pulling random. I've always kind of wanted to talk about this. What park do you think has the best B&M collection? I swear, every time I go to a park, they go, "Oh my gosh, this collection of B&Ms here is really awesome." I feel like every park has a great collection. So I'm wondering what people think is the best collection of B&Ms. Because I was at Six Flags Over Georgia, and people were like, "Oh yeah, they have a great B&M collection here." And when we go to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, people are like, "Oh, they have a great B&M collection." I feel like a lot of parks have that because so many parks have so many B&Ms, kind of. But I wonder what people think the best is. Do you want to talk about that, or for a weekly poll, maybe?
For what parks with best B&Ms?
The best collection of B&Ms. And we could
Or
even like
whatever.
spurt off into Intamins or something. You say whatever?
Yeah.
That's a yes. All right. That's the response I get here, guys. I try my best. Carowinds, people talk about a lot. Cedar Point, Alton Towers.
Dorney.
Exactly. There's so many different. A lot of parks have good collections.
They're all kind of, with B&M. I think they're all kind of about I think they're all about the same.
No, boo. Boo you,
I
sir.
mean, most of them like seriously, like most of them are like I don't know. They like I don't know. Like all B&M hypers are good.
No. I disagree with that. Intimidator and Nitro both kind of suck.
Dude, Intimidator's an amazing coaster.
Intimidator's not that good. Intimidator is not that good.
Smoke crack. Why don't we just record us talking and that'll be the podcast?
What else? What do we talk about when we get back from the break? And then, do we have any other news at all? If we don't have any other news, we just basically need to start off, and we need to have like a little bit of a discussion before we get into news, like maybe about episode 100 or something, because this show's gonna go like 20 minutes if we don't. It's gonna be the shortest episode since you ever joined.
Um
I can talk about the merchandise, I guess, some. I mean, literally.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Maybe. Should we talk about that when we get back from the? We can just do like an analysis of the shop. We're gonna have T-shirts and masks and bags, and
Do you have that store ready yet?
it's gonna come out. Yeah, it's gonna come out when. I mean, it's pretty much ready. I'm gonna add like the Craig shirt. And I'm gonna add some other stuff but I'm gonna do it Sunday when I release it. But honestly, we can just talk about that, and then literally, if we think of ideas, we can just be like, oh, we could add this. Yeah, that would be great. Like, just think about because we're literally skating on thin ice here. We got like nothing to talk about. New coaster talk shop. I'll just put that. And by the way, you guys are live looking. If anyone's listening, I'm sure there's not that many.
I'm sure we're
We do have a shop now.
we're just gonna bang our heads against the wall. That's gonna be the show for tonight.
We have a shop now, or we're gonna be having one. So you guys are the first to hear it. There's no one in there, so there's no one. Yeah, so nobody.
Good evening.
All right, I guess that's the show. That's pretty much it. I can't. How is there no?
Alex, save us. What are we gonna talk about?
Oh, Alex is here. Alex, anything? Any news or anything? Anything. This might be a good time to just record an off-topic show and then post that as episode 101.
Your epic return to Instagram. I wouldn't know.
If Bob was on Instagram, that would be so awesome.
Why don't you join something cool like MySpace?
Imagine Bob on Instagram. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
What happened to that glimmer of hope you had for a while?
Dude, I don't know which incident was that. No, I don't. It's just the thing is even if I do it, like it's never gonna touch my phone, and then I probably won't be very active on it because I won't go through the hassle of logging in and stuff. I save myself. Although we swore a lot on 100, so
I know.
we clearly tested those waters.
Indeed. We didn't really give any directions for that either to the guests, so we probably should have said PG-13, but we didn't. So.
I mean, it was PG-13.
Yeah.
I don't think we had any F-bombs.
Yeah, I don't think we did either. I think you said shitata.
Oh, all right.
A couple times maybe.
Yeah, who oh yeah.
Bob.
When Hyde was the one that made the good save.
Yeah.
And then was it Mark? I don't know, someone who's like, what? We're gonna talk about 101 Dalmatians. Alex said.
Nope, screw it.
My top least favorite coasters? No. Wait, top 10 least favorite. I only put there's only two that I can kind of put in a least favorite category. Like I don't, and even those I'm not like whatever. Let other people ride them. I'm fine with it.
Bob loves to hate on things, but coasters is not one of them.
That's right. I hate on park management.
Indeed, you do.
When they do dumb shit.
All right. We'll talk about it because there's literally nothing else to. And I mean, seeing as he came on the show once, it's whatever. I don't think.
Oh, I want to see the full. When are we gonna get the downloadable file of all 1,215
Yeah.
coaster bot names?
Yeah, I know. I was. You can see like all 500. Like there's like 500 or 600 that are already ranked.
Yeah.
He said it's coming very soon, I believe. Do you want to talk about all 500? Hey, you can search by roller coaster. Oh, that's kind of cool. I feel like if we ever get, I don't know what I really want to know what kind of website he uses. He does. He has a good website, and ours sucks. To be able to do
Oh,
all,
I'm sure he doesn't use a point and click thing like you use. Like
I'm pretty
it's
sure he
like
uses. I'm pretty sure I thought he used Squarespace. Or not Squarespace. What's the? It might be Squarespace.
yeah, Squarespace is a thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he uses. And but I'm not 100% confident in that. I'm like 90% confident, but not 100%.
Hold on, I might be able to tell you.
Oh, you got one of those like things that can tell what website creator it is and all that information.
Well, no, I should be able to figure out where it's hosted.
Oh, every time Michael, you met Invaders on here. Invaders on here pretty high. Invaders 352. That's pretty high. Out of every coaster on the planet, it's pretty. It's over Daredevil Dive. I don't know about that one.
Yep, Squarespace.
Yeah, I like this website quite a bit. And I feel like it's a lot more interactivity here. I don't know though. Maybe when the Wix one expires in a year, I'll transfer over to CoasterBot. To Squarespace, I mean. Hey, I'm not the
Transfer to
only one
Coaster.
that complains about the website here, so
No, it's slow.
it's slow. It doesn't look the absolute best, I don't feel like. But I'm not gonna go back. I know I might get a new one, so I'm not gonna go in and like try to make it look amazing and then.
A year recap of what? What are we gonna recap for the year?
2020 sucked.
F 2020. Have you ever heard that song?
Yeah. I've also heard the song "Dump Trump for 2020."
Oh.
And I said, "Hey, hey, hey."
Chad. We're not recapping Chad.
From OVC. I thought he was meaning Craig.
How is Blue Streak at Cedar Point above Blue Streak at Conneaut? That's just
I like Blue
dumb.
Streak a lot. So I don't know. I'd have to get on both, but I'm not totally in disbelief of that being there.
I mean, you put buzz bars back on Blue Streak at Cedar Point? Okay. I'm with you, maybe. The blue racer at Kings Island is like a good bit of like it's like 11 spots above the red racer.
Hey, they even rank them as 2 credits on here. That's great. I actually didn't even realize that. I didn't know what you were talking about for a second. I think that kind of confirms it. We'll talk about that. Racer 75 is on here at King's Dominion.
Yep.
North. I think both sides are better than either side at Kings Island, though. So I'm not 100%
Oh
sure.
god, yes.
But they don't have it on here like that. They have the South side ranked below the Kings Island one. Both Kings Island ones. That's kind of ludicrous. The South side is good. It's not great, but it's good.
It's because blue should get to your point, Wonk. So, or Alex, are you using speech to text?
Every time. Good night.
That's what I thought. Obviously not.
Get to your point.
Oh my god, it's 9:30. We need to do like just hit record and let's
This
go. I
episode's
don't
gonna
care.
be this episode's gonna be short regardless, so I don't think I have to worry about going too long.
I don't know unless you find something to trigger me with.
Oh yeah,
Then it could go
this
well.
ranking stuff actually might go a while.
Are we gonna talk about that? Oh, we are gonna talk about that.
I said screw it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what you said screwed about.
Facts. Alex is spitting straight facts out
Um Conneauts I don't think will collapse now either. The train might fall apart. I don't think because they've retracked like they've rebuilt a lot of it now. Which makes me wonder if the
there.
first
Is the
drop's not.
infrastructure rebuilt though, like the supports and all of that? Or is it just
I
track
think
work?
I think they've gone over it.
Gotcha.
I don't know that for
By
sure, but
Acers. By Acer.
well, I mean, it's better than like soccer players rebuilding. And I mean,
All right, are you ready?
sure. Oh wait, I need to open Audacity.
Yeah, I got a test. So, what's going on, everybody? Episode 101. Oh, it's on you.
Huh? What?
I have it on my speakers.
What's on me?
I have it like we used to do in the good old days, where I used to record your audio through my speakers, through my headphones. So it was recording you. I was wondering. I was like, is it really the gain that low that can't even pick me up at all?
Go
Hey
for it.
guys,
Do it
what's
that
going
way.
on? Episode 101 right now. Cool, awesome, fun. Bob knows Pittsburgh, and we're starting the show.
James. I hate you. My audio level is gonna change here.
Oh yeah, you got really, 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 really quiet.
Testing. Wait, what?
Oh,
Test.
oh, there he goes.
How's that?
That's back to kind of normal. You hear him okay? Alex, you're kind of the only guy there, so. Can you hear him?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're coming through good. I can see. All right.
Okay, so now I need to do this.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Testing my
Episode number
audio.
101. Testing my
I'm gonna
audio
just
with
talk. We're
Bob.
just gonna talk,
We're both gonna talk over top of each other.
No.
Bob,
It's my turn
it's
to talk.
my
Don't get
opinion.
to
It's
talk.
my opinion, Bob.
Oh, I'm clipping really bad. I'm gonna have to turn my mic down.
I wasn't, so. Well, I did it. I did once. I don't think that's enough for me to turn it down.
All right, now I'm talking pretty loud again. And wait, what? Oh, I think I need to. Wait, I don't know
When
what's
I
going
get
on.
in the morning and I get real. All right, I'm gonna grab my phone and then I'm gonna start.
And I said, hey, 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 hey.
I said,
I
hey,
said,
what's going
what's
on?
going on?
Oh my god.
All right, I'm really confused because now my mic is actually clipping before it actually turns red. How does that happen? And I said, hey. So I guess this makes no sense at all. If I change my input volume,
I think if I continue to talk over this, they won't be able to copyright it. So I'm just gonna keep talking and talk. I'm talking.
no, don't do it. Don't do it, man. You're gonna get us busted. You're gonna get us
No,
busted.
I'm not. It's okay.
Don't,
I'll just remove this section of the live stream if worse comes to worse. I don't think.
don't do it, man. Because every time you do this crap, we also have a problem with audio too.
No, that's not true.
Yes.
It was one
Oh my
time I
God.
played Sgt. Pepper's.
We are so cursed now. We are so cursed.
Episode 100. What happened? Did I play audio there? No.
No, that was Craig. That's unrelated. Well, the first time you got a copyright strike between the two of us, or got something happened, I lost my audio. I ran out of hard drive space or something. And then the second time you did, it was on that same night because we're like, oh, well, let's go. We'll have to grab the audio from the YouTube stream. And they took it down. Don't you remember that?
Buddy.
Twice that happened.
All right. I'll let you believe what you want.
Oh, I hate you. Part of that is just me testing my audio too, and I really don't understand. Like my audio is literally clipping, but it's like
not.
It's like it's clipping before it even gets to Audacity. Like it locks itself in place. Like it won't go. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. This is weird. Weird. Let me. Might get loud. All right. Testing my audio again. Now it's just clipping louder, clipping higher. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's always done this and I just never noticed it before. Maybe I'm at a different zoom level. No, but I remember getting turning yellow and red.
You can really just have a conversation all by yourself.
I can just talk to myself.
I have not responded in like a minute.
I know you haven't, and I don't care because I'm just watching my audio. I'm literally talking to Audacity. Dude.
And you said you couldn't do a podcast by yourself.
Well, I mean, I should have said that I couldn't do an entertaining podcast by myself.
True. It's better. That's better phraseology.
Phraseology?
Indeed.
Did you just make that word up?
I did not, Bob.
I think you did.
Oh God, are we gonna have a debate on whether or not phraseology is a word now?
No.
Because I guarantee you it is a word in the Oxford Dictionary. Phraseology, a mode of expression, especially one characteristic of a particular speaker or writer.
I hate you.
Synonyms, wording, phrasing, usage,
right.
idiom, diction, parlance, words. All right, are you ready?
It is what it is. If it sucks, it sucks. I don't even care.
That's not my motto. You're the one that was complaining last week about like there being a little audio quality. Now it's gonna be like me. I'm gonna be like fine and perfect, and you're gonna be like, "Yes, guys, welcome."
No, I didn't. No. Well,
yeah, you said. I mean, there was a transfer of audio, and it sounded weird when it transitioned into a different segment.
Right.
It's gonna sound even
Yeah.
weirder if it's like me sounding pretty good with my mic, and then you're like, "Hey
Well,
guys, what's up?
that's that's what they do in post. Post takes care of that.
Post will take care of some of it, but not all of it."
I mean, post might be lazy then.
No, Post is not lazy. Post cannot do magic work and make audio sound incredible if it's awful.
Just make your audio sound awful and we're good. All right.
Actually, I can't make this mic sound bad. I have to turn up the gain a lot.
Oh my God! Did you really just say that?
I can't do it like this. Like, look. If I talk into it like this, it sounds all right still. And you're like, turn the gain up. There we go. Yeah, now it sounds bad.
Yeah,
that's the only
that
way
sounds
to get
terrible.
Exactly.
It's horrible. Where's Pam at?
She's at Busch
Pam
Gardens.
is like mad. Oh.
That's why I laugh. I was like, oh my God, keeps messaging me. When are you gonna be back on? And she goes to Busch Gardens on the night of our recording. Oh, Bob, are you gonna write this?
And I said, hey, 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 hey. Why does this webcam make me look so red? I don't like it.
Are you ready? And I said, hey, 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 hey. Why did you get copyrighted on that?
We're going to probably because it's just going to be a disaster. I need to get another drink. I'll be right back, and then we'll start.
Like 4 Noun Blondes, and they're gonna.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, there's a whole lot of jokes that could be made. I'll be right back.
He thinks he's so funny. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We have not done this in a while. It feels weird to be here again. You guys like the new live stream look? Alex, I think you might still be one of the only people in the chat, so I'm kind of just talking to you here. But just in case there's anyone else, do you like the new live stream look? He's already back. That's a good question, Alex. I like how I'm gonna be doing this in the middle. I don't think there was Spanish homework, but I could also be wrong.
I am back.
Bob, was there Spanish homework?
I didn't have Spanish homework.
All right, that's good. I think we're good then, Alex.
I had French homework.
Gotcha. I think there might have been, but I think it might have been like right after class, and I might have already done it. Possibly, I don't. There also, I think, I can't remember. I hate her Nearpods. Her Nearpods are so. I always like remember the Nearpod before the last Nearpod. And then I'm like, oh wait, that was that last Nearpod. Oh no, that was this Nearpod. Like,
I swore I left Coaster Talk podcast and walked back to high school podcast, high school talk podcast.
Senor Snellings in particular. I'm gonna look on the Nearpod now because I'm already here. No hey tardea. Gracias, Senor Rita. Or Senor, whatever. That's just rude. Hopefully she doesn't watch this, actually. Senorita. I've told her about this before. I guarantee she doesn't watch this, but still. On the off chance I'm wrong, hola, senorita. Lo siento. por la comedia. Tú es
It's a crack
señorita.
comeback, yeah, standing on the rooftop, shouting out,
mute
baby,
Bob.
I'm ready to go.
That's when Bob is muted.
I'm back and I'm ready to go. From the Are you ready?
Yep, I muted you for a second there while you had your little outburst. I'm just kidding. I have the power. It's just Discord. I don't think we had homework to answer your question finally.
Oh my god.
Because we didn't. All right, here we go.
I'm gonna start talking about the jobs
2,
market.
1. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm just kidding. All right, are you ready for real?
Yes.
Do you want to do the countdown? I know you like doing it.
Sure. I gotta remember where the camera's at. 3, 2.
Welcome back, guys, to Coaster Talk Podcast. This is episode number 101. It's kind of crazy to be saying that still, but it is December 13th, 2020, and you're listening
It's
to
a lot of
yourself talk in
syllables.
English.
A lot of syllables in the
I know,
numbers
yeah,
now.
I'm used to the bam, bam, 98, 97, 96. I'm used to that, all the way back to, 10 when we started that, or when we started the double.
Now for the next 98 episodes, it's gonna start with 100.
Yeah. All right, hold up. My audio's coming in really quiet. I just looked at that.
Oh, James.
I don't understand. It's because I turned my gain up really loud, and then I turned it back down, and I probably didn't turn it up to the right spot. All right. Hello. Let me test again. Hey, guys, what's going on? My name is Pete Buttigieg, and I am from Morocco.
What the hell just happened there?
All right. Episode 101. Are you ready? You may do the honors, sir.
3, 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Coaster Talk Podcast. It is episode number 101, December 13th, 2020. I'm James Barber.
And I'm Bob Mertz.
This is your source for everything roller coasters. Welcome back, guys. It's been a while since we've done just a normal show. It's been a couple weeks, so it's good to be back.
Yeah, I think we're back on the rails, sort of. We
bit.
forgot to put a couple wheels on. We're working on that though, but I think we're mostly on the wheels or on the rails. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed our 100th episode.
It was a lot of fun to record. Yeah, well, at times it was.
Oh, it was a blast. I loved the entire thing.
I think it was fun with all the guests, but I guess I had the post production part of it, which wasn't fun. So I guess let me correct myself there. It was fun to record. It was not fun to work on it and to get
and
produced.
to deal with Craig.
Hey, I'm really surprised that I did not make any errors though. I know I had you listening and everything, but even like the first run, I was really I was expecting you to go, James, blah blah blah, this right here, go fix this, and I was like, wow, I didn't mess up. Like it's the first time that normally I'll mess up on like simple episodes and we have like one guest on just for like a second, and we had like 18 guests on, and I'm like, there's like audio files everywhere, and I didn't mess up once. That was surprising.
Yeah, it actually came together pretty well. I was impressed. I know there was a couple there were some areas where there were some stutter effects, but that was because of some audio issues.
Because of
my well, Craig, that was because of oh my god, I need to figure out a backup.
Yeah.
And it was a really quick thrown together backup, and my whole intent was we shouldn't have to use the backup audio recordings. However, Craig had other plans.
Yeah, Craig scheduled a completely different agenda for us. For sure.
He didn't even schedule it. He just made it up as he went along. It's like, I'm out. Peace, y'all.
See you guys. Oh, someone else is joining in now. All right, now I'm definitely leaving. Oh yeah, it was not fun. Ended up talking to another podcast that didn't they didn't come on as a guest on our episode 100, but talked with them before. I think it's possibly the Twisted Travelers podcast. I think that's the name of the show, and they were also like, "Oh my gosh, your name of your show could not have been any better. We understand your pain with Craig." And
Well, Drunk Riders too.
yeah,
Even
yeah,
when
Drunk Riders, of course.
we were recording with another, like Thursday night, we were recording. I forget which one of the sessions we were recording with, but the Drunk Riders were actually recording their real podcast, and
yeah, 'cause ours
they were
is
still on
fake.
our channel. Well, yeah, we're the first ever fake roller coaster
Yeah,
podcast.
we're
No.
not real. This is all an illusion.
But yeah, they were they actually popped into our channel to say like they saw it drop in ours and it dropped in theirs at the exact same time. So like drunk riders know all about Craig. It's frustrating because Craig is such a good tool. It's such it really is an amazing piece of software if it
Would
be
function.
stable.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's more of just like I think it's just so overloaded. I think people are just like playing with it because they're at home more and some quarantine stuff like, oh, let's play with this, and
Yeah.
the servers are just a bit overloaded. I don't know, that's my theory.
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible for sure. But let's get to some news. Let's move on, because Kings Island actually announced a new luxury resort, and it's interesting because it's getting mixed reviews, getting mixed reactions from some. A lot of people happy to see this, others aren't as happy, and I don't quite understand that. I mean, you also, but you even stated this pre-recording the show that you kind of felt this was almost a guarantee that this was going to happen, some sort of resort, some sort of
I mean,
facility.
I've been saying this for a couple years and people have been laughing at me,
Yeah,
so I mean, this doesn't surprise me in the least. I've kind of been expecting this to come. I mean,
yeah.
I could care less. It doesn't affect me, and like I don't understand why people are upset about it. Like what? I don't get that about coaster enthusiasts. Like
It's
if you
almost
don't
like
like something,
something
like
good's happening
don't
at a park. No.
don't have it. Like holy crap! Like not everything in the park has to be specifically for you. There's like you know a whole lot of other people in the universe.
Yeah, something good is coming to a park that isn't a roller coaster, and it gets backlash for some reason. It seems a lot of times. I don't know. But this is going to be I believe, over 100 over 100 campsites, over 100 lodging facilities, and including also spaces for RVs to come and park. And there's going to be a splash pool. It's going to be pretty great. It's I think, over 50 acres of land is going to be utilized here. So that's awesome. It's a $27 million project. And it's not exactly Cedar Fair owned, but Cedar Fair is going to be managing it. So they have a deal with an outside company to have like a partnership and licensing deal, but it will be managed by Cedar Fair. If anyone had any thoughts on that, or any belief on that, it is not Cedar Fair owned, but it will be managed by them, and it's going to be right next to the park. A lot of people also kind of upset that there's not going to be any direct access to Kings Island. I saw, and I mean it's literally walking distance though, so I don't see the outrage there either. A lot of people are like, "Oh, could have built it in this area, and you could have built a pathway to Kings Island for the resort." I mean, that would have been awesome. I mean, me and Bob were talking beforehand how Bob thinks Kings Island might become the new Cedar Point in a sense, for Ohio, and that would be awesome tool to have, kind of like Hotel Breakers, where you can kind of just walk straight over to the park. I don't think this is going to be the last expansion we see for Kings Island in terms of resorts
Oh
either. So
no.
I think eventually we'll see something like that. But either way, you can literally walk to the park from where you're at. I believe it's right next to one of the parking lots. And so I don't see that being a major factor. Many people are going to be able to walk over to the park from here.
Yeah. I've like I know I've mentioned it on shows previously. That like I think that I think that there's a very long-term goal that the focus of the like flagship park will very slowly over the next decade or so transition from Cedar Point to Kings Island.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I think that like Carowinds is going to get a lot of the same treatment
Yeah.
because it's going to be for a different region. And then
Almost the Cedar
Knott's
Point of the
Berry
South.
Farm,
Yeah.
right? And Knott's Berry Farm will be for the West. I think those three parks are going to be the primary Cedar Fair parks.
Okay.
Cedar Point's going to remain the flagship for at least a while, but I think that the focus over the next I don't know how many years, maybe next decade or so, slowly shift because Kings Island has a lot more land to work with, and it's also a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
It's accessible
It's
to
more centrally
more
located. Yeah.
cities, yeah, than what Sandusky is. And Cedar Point's always going to be there. Cedar Point's always going to be a park that's going to be worth visiting. I just think the focus is going to change. I think Cedar Point might actually become more of like. I think they might put a lot more focus back on the beach and like that kind of recreation more so than like thrill rides. And I think the intent has always been, or well, at least for a while, for a good while, that Kings Island will be the place where thrill rides will go to.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes sense. I mean, if you want to be a major thrill park, you're going to have places for people to stay, and this just makes a lot of sense. I mean, Kings Island's still behind the eight ball because Cedar Fair won't work with Intamin, so I don't know how you're going to make it a major thrill park without a single Intamin roller coaster, but whatever.
Yeah. I don't know if I
um,
am in full agreement with that. I think Kings Island is going to be built up, and I think I've always thought that. I think that's been apparent for a long time with new attractions that they've been getting. I mean, for what is it, like the past 10 years, they've gotten almost a roller coaster almost every year. It's kind of shows that there's going to be something big coming from the park. So I think they're going to be built up as a destination park for sure. I don't know if they're going to surpass Cedar Point. I don't know if Cedar Fair is kind of shifting, like you're saying, that like focal point view of Cedar Point being the major park of the chain and kind of shifting it towards Kings Island. I definitely think Kings Island, Carowinds, and Knott's Berry Farm are going to be built up. I just don't know if the chain as a whole is going to be, shifting their view from Cedar Point necessarily, or if they're just going to now expand their view to all four of those parks. Because I've always thought that Carowinds. For a long time, I've been hearing rumors and speak about it becoming the Cedar Point of the South, almost becoming a large destination park. And then when they built that hotel a couple years ago, everyone was like, "This is just the beginning."
yeah,
So I definitely think, and this is definitely for Kings Island, kind of showing that as well. I don't know though. I think Cedar Point will always be, and I know you're saying it's not going to disappear off the face of the earth or anything. I understand that, but I don't know if it's necessarily going to be a shifted view there. I don't know if they're going to stop building rides and stop doing major attractions for
I
Cedar
don't
Point
think.
either.
I think the thing is I think Cedar Point's going to be a very different kind of park. I
Okay.
think that's what we're going to see. Like I said, I think the focus is going to go more towards like
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I
family, like yeah, we're going to have the rides there.
I
But there's going to be a lot more of the like beach
even if
and
they didn't do
water.
anything for 10 years though, the collection of rides they already have like is enough to basically be
Well,
to be.
I,
I mean,
I mean, I agree with you, but like, the way Cedar Fair has been in the last couple years, like, how many coasters are going to get the act soon?
yeah,
Um,
I don't know. People have been saying Wicked Twister for a while, so that rumor's starting to stamper out of my mind now because that's been a rumor for like 5 years now. I've been hearing Wicked Twister's getting the axe, Wicked Twister, Wicked Twister every year. I keep waiting for them to go, and we're getting rid of Wicked Twister, so that's starting to go. Are they really? I mean, I don't know. Possibly that's the only one I can see really being removed. Everything else seems to be all right and running fine, and there's no real indication of anything being removed at this time. So I don't know.
I think Top Thrill Dragster's at risk. I'm
Yeah,
not saying it's going to be removed immediately, but I
I
think
kind
it's
of
at
agree.
risk.
I kind of agree, but I don't know if. I mean, that is. I know we're gonna say Volcano was a flagship ride for King's Dominion, but Top Thrill Dragster, I think, on another level is that flagship ride for Cedar Point.
You
I
could,
mean,
you could get rid of Top Thrill Dragster, and Cedar Point still has a
for
ton of
sure. But you could argue that
incredible
for
thrill.
King's Dominion too. You could argue we should
No,
get a lot of thrill
nah,
coasters. As much as
not
you,
not like Cedar Point.
no, 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 not to that level. But I also think that Top Thrill Dragster is a larger ride for Cedar Point than Volcano was for King's Dominion. As much as you, Cedar Point gets people from. I mean, I know people from every single state, every single city that somehow know Cedar Point. Kings Dominion is not that park. And yes, Volcano was popular, like you've said when you were in Pittsburgh. You heard about Volcano and all that. I 100% agree that it was, somewhat regionally well known as a ride. But this is like worldwide. Top Thrill Dragster is known. Oh, Top Thrill Dragster, Cedar Point, because it was the first. Because it was the first strata. Everyone seems to know. I get questions all the time. You ever been to Cedar Point and ridden that tall coaster there? Yeah, I have. Yep, it's Top Thrill Dragster. Yeah, and I talk to them. And I'm like, well, there's actually one in New Jersey that's taller, but no one seems to know that as much. I don't know. It's just, at least from my experience, that is a flagship ride. I just don't see that. As much as I agree that they don't seem to be fans of Intimate and everything, if they really remove that, I don't know. I mean, I think everything would be fine. I think everything would work out well. I think people would still visit the park, but I feel like that would be an interesting decision for them to make, and I don't know if that would be a decision that they want to make. I don't know, but the same thing could be similarly said for Volcano, but I don't think it was the same necessarily.
I think the arguments are very, very similar for Volcano, but I think one of the problems is a lot of the people who are trying to argue for Top Thrill Dragster over top of Volcano, yourself included, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but it's like when Volcano was built, the majority of the people making that argument weren't around. So it's like a different.
It's the same thing with Top Thrill Dragster. I was born the year Top Thrill Dragster opened. I have no idea what the response was, but I know that to this day it's just as popular.
I don't know. Why does it seem so? Well, I mean, you're still talking 6 years. Wait.
What are we talking about? Are we
The
talking
years between being built?
Volcano was 97, and Top Thrill Dragster was 2003.
Let me see.
I think it was 97 that it was. Maybe it's 98. I don't.
98.
All right, so that's 5 years then, because it was built in 2003. Top Thrill Dragster was 2003. I know for a fact, because that's my birthday year. Whenever anyone that says, "What was the year Top Thrill Dragster was?" 2003. But yeah, I mean, even so, that kind of is a more substantial reason for. I mean, I know that Top Thrill Dragster is just as prominent as today. Throughout the country, even. I mean, I've talked to people. I have a couple of friends in Florida that have talked to me about it before that aren't enthusiasts. It's just a well-known ride.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like I don't understand why people can't, like, by saying that Volcano is at Top Thrill Dragster's level. It seems like people's response is like, "Oh, well, Top Thrill Dragster's popular." Like, yeah, my whole point is they're both at the same level. Like, I'm not trying to say Volcano is is higher than Top Thrill Dragster or anything. Like, I'm saying they're both kind of equal in the scheme of things, except for the fact that Cedar Point has a much larger buffer surrounding it than what Volcano had.
I just think Cedar Point is a more popular park, and I think Top Thrill Dragster is a more popular ride. So in that case,
well,
that
no,
would be a substantial removal for them. I mean, I think I could see this kind of announcement breaking like national news, kind of. Top Thrill Dragster at Cedar Point, the first record-breaking roller, like that. That was like the midst of the coaster wars, everything. I mean, it was getting crazy. That was a huge, huge step for roller coasters. Whether or not you want to argue, whatever, some people don't like Top Thrill Dragster, some people do. I mean, love it, but
was it really?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was the ground changing. Like, I mean, we're merging into a whole different argument here, but as far as breaking ground, Volcano broke more ground than what Top Thrill Dragster did, because the technology already existed in Accelerator.
We're not talking about that, though. We're not talking about the nitty-gritty details of what was done.
You just said that, though, that it was like groundbreaking.
No, I'm talking about in terms of like statistics, in terms of what we hadn't seen before, in terms of what the general public would look at and say, what ride looks more, menacing, what ride looks more. Not even, I don't want to, because I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about what ride looks more groundbreaking and changing. The 400-foot ride that we haven't seen before, or this, I mean, yes, Volcano was groundbreaking. And if you want to talk about the technology that was utilized, sure, 100%. But when the general public look at it and that's who we're talking about more in this instance because that's the audience that's going to be upset by this removal. I just think that when you look at it, it broke the 400-foot barrier. That was a huge thing. It was the fastest roller coaster in the world. That was a huge thing. If you want to argue
I
that it didn't
agree.
actually break the
I'm
400-foot
not.
barrier, that's another argument because I've had that argument as
No,
well. Superman Krypton
that's the
Fister, I
thing.
think, broke it first. But
The whole thing is I'm not arguing against you. I'm not arguing against you. I'm just saying that you're like.
I agree that Volcano. I think Volcano is more regionally very popular. Like Pennsylvania, not Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, North Carolina. I'm sure like a lot of people around this region knew it.
No, it was a lot. It was a lot bigger. It was a lot more. Here's the thing that I think happened. At the time that it was built, it was a lot more popular because Cedar Point wasn't Cedar Point yet. If that, I mean, they had Magnum. They were getting there, but they didn't have Millennium Force yet. Millennium Force changed things for Cedar Point. That was when it was like, oh, wait, something, like people started noticing Cedar Point around the same time they knew about Volcano. But it was like the 2000s when Cedar Point really became the mecca, as people put it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the 90s, Cedar Point was a good park. It wasn't the known, like it wasn't the worldwide name that it is now.
And this is as much as I'm going to get because we've gone off. I'm actually quite happy that we did this. As much as we're talking about Volcano again, I know some people are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, again."
That's why I continue to argue with you because there's not a lot else to talk about. So.
There's not, no. But I just think, in the grand scheme of things, I think Top Thrill Dragster is a more popular, more prominent ride. You can argue that to the day I die. I don't think that's true. That's just a differentiation of opinions. I don't think Cedar Point's going to remove that. I don't think it's in any immediate danger. I mean, unless something drastic happens where there's a needed removal, something amazing like we couldn't predict happens. I don't see there being a removal of this ride. So that's just my thoughts. That's just my opinion. I think Cedar Point, to get back to the point of the original argument, will be we got in so many sub arguments there.
We're not even talking about Kings Island anymore.
Yeah, I just think the Cedar Point will stay as a destination, and I think it'll be that thrill seeker destination for a long time. I don't think that's going to change. I think Kings Island might become an additional, and I think it already is somewhat of one, but I think it'll continue to grow as one, but I don't know if it'll ever surpass. I think it might equal.
For me, though, it doesn't make sense to have the two in destination parks in Ohio.
I think they're further enough away, though. I mean, they're like 3.5, 4 hours away. That's...
but you
look at Florida.
One needs to be... Well, but Florida's a different thing.
Okay, parks can coexist near each other, though. I mean,
yes, they can, but the thing is Florida is its destination on its own without the parks.
I know. I'm not saying that. I understand Florida's a bit of a different category here, but the concept still stands. I think that just because they're owned by the same company, just because they're both large-scale parks, I don't necessarily think that they can't coexist with one another and be both big destination theme parks.
I'm not saying that they can't coexist. I'm just saying I don't think it makes sense for them to keep them both at that level. I think they could be at that level in a different thing, though. And I'm saying this may take place over a decade. It may not even happen at all because the way this new management is going, this may not even be a thing anymore. That may be why we saw Kings Island grow, because they were going towards this, but now that this new management style has stepped in, they may be
water
like
park stuff all the time.
Yeah, they're water park, and like as coasters need control upgrades, we're gonna say it's at the end of the service life. Trademark Cedar Fair. I mean, I don't know. Like at this point, I think some of that remains. I don't know. I don't know what Cedar Fair is doing anymore. Like sometimes I just they just seem weird. Sometimes I don't even know if Cedar Fair knows what they're doing either. I mean, Carowinds was a good example when they're like, "No, we're not opening for Christmas. We're done for the year," and yet their website saying we're opening for
King's
Christmas.
Dominion
Like,
too. Oh my gosh.
you guys might want to talk a little bit, talk to each other.
I mean, and we talk about bad PR and bad marketing. That is the. I don't understand what motivation was there. Okay, but that's a completely different argument. Camp Cedar is opening up at Kings Island. It's going to be a huge resort with lodging and RV spots to accommodate for those that travel with recreational vehicles and traveling homes. I think it sounds pretty awesome. I think it's going to be a good resort, good place to stay. Honestly, if I'm ever up there, and this sounds like a kind of place that I might want to hang out. I mean, again, it's some walking distance from the park. It looks like a nice resort. One complaint that I can kind of get behind a little bit is that the thing's located like right next to the highway, and that's what many people have also been disappointed with as well. The noise that is going to be alongside this attraction. I don't really think it's that big of an issue, but that is one that I can kind of understand. I've seen a lot of just dumb complaints, but that is one that I'm like, all right, I'll throw you a bone there.
Where is it? Is there actually a map?
No, but there's an image.
Yeah, I see that image, but I don't know. Like,
I can't believe I can't believe I forgot this, but there was an actual like documentation, or someone said they knew exactly where the plot was, and it was like next to I don't know what the highway name is, but they said it was adjacent to that.
it's the Kings Island. It's the road to Kings Island, I think.
Maybe
not. Either way, you can see there's like a whole bunch of trees buffered between the actual resort and.
Yeah, there are. But I mean,
I
at that point, right, like up towards the actual resort, like where there's actual like cabins, for sure. But over here by the RV side of things, if you're looking at the same image I'm looking at, that's getting kind of close there. Like there's not as much of those trees buffering it out. So I feel like, I mean, I live next to a road and I have some trees there that buffer, but it doesn't really. Sometimes I can totally hear the roadway out there, and that's not even a highway. That's just a main road. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see though. I'm not too concerned with that, but that's the only one that I'm actually saying. I'm like, all right, there's something, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's like, wait, it should be closer to the park. Like, we're concerned about noise, so it should be closer to the park so the roller coasters keep me awake. Like, what are you arguing about? I don't know. This is not to be confused with Camp Snoopy. Just to make that clear.
That is going to be at King's Dominion.
Yeah, King's. Right, with the brand new Peanuts themed SNS free spin, which has shown up in the parking lot.
Yeah, people are talking about that. It looks good. I honestly am a little impressed with the level of theming they're going with, like supports and stuff. I thought they were just gonna paint it and put it up there, but there's actually like bamboo themed supports. So they're actually kind of going for the Congo look. It looks like, which is good. They're trying to at least keep a theme a little bit.
I don't know, man. It could fit Camp Snoopy too.
I don't know.
Maybe it's not supposed to be bamboo. Maybe it's supposed to be just more rustic timber looking.
Maybe. And it's going to be the kiting tree, something like that. You know, they already have the drop ride like that, but they'll find a way to name it something else. The kiting tree's big brother or something. I don't know.
The bigger question is, what's Avalanche? What theme is Avalanche going to get that fits with Peanuts?
Well, it's white, so maybe Snoopy's doing something.
The Red Baron.
Yeah, good. Yeah, because you got the planes there. You already have that with the plane ride there already. Maybe a retheme.
Oh, that's right. They do have Red Baron.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking maybe they'd name something Snoopy, something, I don't know. It's white, you know. Who knows?
You do realize if like they ever make the announcement that
if this actually happens, we are going to be the greatest. That's it. Like we're retiring. I'm gonna like.
I don't know. I might be in the hospital from a heart attack.
I'm retiring. I'm gonna be like, all right, we're prodigies. We don't need to be doing this anymore. We're just Just calling everything here. Or maybe we just rename our show to Coaster. I don't even Coaster Predictions. And just predict things all the time. If we call this thing out of anything, I mean that's great. That would be awesome, in a way. All right. Well, something we talked about a while back was Intamin introducing some new rides and attractions. I gave him a little bit of grief for copying a lot of different manufacturers, and Bob was there to defend him, so we had a bit of an equilibrium there effect.
Except for the power splash thing. That was
Yeah.
Intamin ripped it off and they just flat out ripped that one off.
It was pretty
Sorry.
blatant.
I like to defend you, Intamin, but sorry. You're just no.
Yeah. All right. Well, what was one of the major ripoffs was the Raptor clone or model that they introduced called the Hot Racer, and we're seeing the world's first. And this is not really news. Came out like a couple weeks ago, but as you guys noticed, we didn't talk about it at all because we had our 100th episode and we skipped the week for Thanksgiving. So we have the first Intamin Hot Racer, and it's actually a launch coaster too, which is awesome. That's one unique thing we're getting out of this. Is not going to be the traditional Raptor with a lift hill or single rail coaster with a lift hill. It's actually going to be launched, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like the theming of the trains too. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of funny in a way, but also kind of cool. I'm not sure what to make of it. But I don't know, just looking at this rendering, like, yes, it's a Raptor, but it's also not. Like, it doesn't seem to have the same exact feel as a Raptor, just in like the way it maneuvers. Like, I mean, my argument basically is this. Yes, they definitely borrowed the whole single rail thing, but like, this is kind of stuff that goes on with manufacturers all the time. Like, this isn't some ground, like, oh my god, like they've never done this before. No one's ever
do
done.
that all the time. They not even just roller coasters. They
But
borrow ideas.
the main thing is like, it's not like a golden horse scenario where it's like literally let's copy the same exact layout of the same exact ride. Like, this is like literally, like, even though it's a single rail and it looks like the track kind of is that Raptor style, like, as you watch like the POV rendering, it's, I don't know, it feels like a different personality. And that's what I like to see is like, it's a different personality, and you can kind of like I don't know, sense that it's Intamin versus RMC.
Mm-hmm.
It looks fun though. It's launched, so
the same way I give, Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Captain whatever, the two similar cereals. I give them a hard time when I see a blatant ripoff. I'm gonna give Intamin a hard time. I definitely agree that I mean, this is just a normal business move here to see what's popular and to do that. But I mean, for me, at least a little bit, I'm like, all right, so this kind of shows everybody that even Intamin can do. Like, everyone's always like, Intamin's this, they always do something new. They always innovate. They never do anything the same. And this is, to me, like a little bit of like, all right, a reality check for some. I'm not going to say Intamin is definitely the manufacturer that most times doesn't do that. And they normally do something new and do something.
Yeah, I mean, Intamin's probably come up with the most groundbreaking technology in roller coasters since Anton Schwarzkopf. I mean, that's just Intamin's role. B&M are the stable, like, bulletproof rides that just work and are fun, but like, Intamin is pushing the technology and like, and I mean, I think, well, RMC is too, with track design, but like, like I actually mentioned, I don't know, in one of our conversations on the 100th episode, like, I think the whole RMC fanboy is more an Alan Schilke fanboy because it's like his personality that's going into RMCs that make them what people really enjoy. So yeah. Anyway, like, I think this looks like a really fun ride, and I hope we see a lot more of these pop up.
Indeed. All right, so now it's time for me to be wrong.
You were already wrong. We just now know you're wrong, and I can say without a doubt, you were wrong.
Oh man! All right. So
Unless we're being trolled big time, which I don't think we are.
wouldn't that be? I would be. It's not gonna happen, but how awesome it would be if they came back and were like, "Just kidding." All right. So Alabama Sponge Adventure, to get to the point, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, to give you some context here, is not going to be getting a Raptor coaster, most likely, because they just posted to their Instagram page that their investment for this year or for this next year will be in the water park section of the park. So I was wrong, and I'll admit it. I really, really thought they had a marketing scheme here. They're wrapping things. You know, that word just initiates the unrest of Raptor. Like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a Raptor. Oh my God. That thought process just ignited. And I was like, how could you miss out on that? I don't know. I think that would have been a great hint there. You know, just how Kennywood did the whole Project 2019 with Steel Curtain and had a bunch of different teasers and hints and all that. I thought that's kind of what they were playing at with this. But it seems they're just going to do a bland old Christmas package opening, and it's just going to be a water slide of some sort. Maybe a water coaster?
We're going to unwrap it. I don't understand how you don't see this. This is what I said the whole time. Like, you're like, oh, unwrapped. Like, where's that come from? That comes from Christmas.
I understand
That's what
that,
you do on Christmas.
but the play on words there would be great to have a double meaning. I'm unwrapping, and then that wrap in there is the highlighter, Raptor. I think it would have been a great play on words.
I don't think so.
I think so.
Yeah, I think you're like, yeah, you're just like, either way, you were wrong.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was. And I'll admit it. I'm sorry, guys. I had a false sense of hope there.
This isn't. I think this isn't like. Of course, all the coaster.
Bob, Parkway's Renados is on a great. I can just feel it. They're going in some great direction. Can't you?
Oh my God, was I ever wrong? Oh my God, was I ever wrong? And I already apologized for that.
I know.
While I had COVID, I made sure I got to my computer.
Your last dying request was, I was wrong about Parkway's Renados. It's all over for me now. They got me. I'm just kidding.
Anyway, what I was saying is the coaster enthusiasts are like, oh my God, they played us. This is so disappointing. It's like, no, it's not. This is kind of what they need. This is what their target audience requested. Like, they did a poll, and this is what it came back. Like, yeah,
I don't think they played us. I don't think anything like that. I just think, in my view, they were.
No, I don't think they played us at all. I think that coaster enthusiasts just, jumped in and were like, it's all about us. It's always all about us. So we're getting a coaster. And then when they found out that it's not all about us, then we must have got played.
I didn't care, nor did I really, and I'm not saying you're directing that at me. You might be, but
no, I'm not. No.
I didn't really care, nor did I think for certain that there was going to be a Raptor here. I just thought they were going to be missing out on a large opportunity here. I still think that. I think if any other park wanted to do this in the future, like couple of years down the line, and getting a Raptor, and they want to do this kind of thing, I think it would be great.
Oh my God, are you still with this name? Oh my God.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna start bringing it up every episode like you do Volcano. Then we'll see how you like it.
All right. We'll talk
every time you bring up Volcano, I'm gonna bring up this marketing scheme. You'll be like yelling about Volcano. How could they? And I'll be like, it was a good marketing scheme. But yeah, that's my only point with that. Yeah, it's probably gonna be some sort of water slide, pool complex. Some people think it might be a water coaster. I
think a water coaster seems to fit.
Yeah.
I mean, they did say it's going to be their most expensive, or their biggest, or something attraction that they've ever added. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of thinking that, like, yeah, a water coaster kind of fits that. So.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that's a good investment, and I think those are fun. I still have yet to ride Cutback Water Coaster at Water Country USA, so I really need to get on that. I like water coasters quite a bit, and that was a new water coaster in the area. So
I still haven't been to Water Country USA, so
yeah, but that needs to change once the vid slows down here, and hopefully 2021, maybe 2022, if everything works out well, and that seems to be the trend. We need to make a trip down there. That's a good park. It's
maybe I
fun.
don't know.
I
It's
know
a
you're not
water
a huge
park.
water park fan. I'm not either, but Water Country USA is like a category of its own. It's a really nice park, and it has some really fun stuff to do. Regardless, it is now time to talk about some polls. Not the weekly poll. We're not throwing you off here. We're not going to be talking about that till I guess this. You guessed it the second
Not
half of the show,
not the
like we
golden
do.
tickets, not the 10 best from USA Today. We're talking well, I mean, it's not Mitch Hawker, but this is now the roller coaster poll.
Yeah,
Every year this is the one we look forward to.
yeah, and that's the CoasterBot Vote Coasters poll. It is I think it used to be called the Golden Cog Awards. It's changed quite a bit here, but it still stands to be a very accurate ranking of the coasters throughout the world too. You have rides in Europe and Asia and of course North America, and it's held by our good friend Harry each year. And yeah, so we're gonna
Also
discuss a
known
little
as
bit.
CoasterBot.
Yeah, of CoasterBot again, of course. Yes, great channel, great YouTube channel. Has been on the show, and let's talk about some of the results of that poll. Of course, being that you don't like the number one, we'll start off there with Steel Vengeance.
Boo.
I think it's over 3,000 people maybe voted on this poll. So I think for certainty we can say that that is the popular opinion.
Wait, they're
Two, yeah,
2,699.
99. Yep, I see that there at the very
Which it
bottom.
should have been 2,700, but I totally forgot to submit mine. So
You would have been the 700th.
I would have, and I actually I really enjoy these type of polls. For anybody that's not familiar with these, um, they the way this works is it's not just like you go and you just say, oh, these are my favorite. You actually basically you list every single roller coaster that you've ever been on, and then you put it in order. You rank every single coaster that you rode. So then when that goes in, like everybody does that same thing. So whenever the comparisons start happening, what it does is it starts looking at who's above, like each, like it's all about like if you put like Sky Rush against I-305, like it's like how many people that have been on both of those like one above the other, and then just does that in an algorithmic way that like basically pulls it down, and you know it it puts like whenever you say, well, let's just take for instance the first Still Vengeance, like you have, let's just say 600 people say Still Vengeance is number one. Well, person A saying Still Vengeance is number one, they've only rode like 30 coasters. That doesn't carry the weight as the same person, like person B who said Still Vengeance is number one, and they've been on 600 roller coasters. Then that basically puts Still Vengeance above the other 599 rather than just above the other 29. So this is why we get a really good representation of where these actually fit, because yeah, everybody's rode Still Vengeance, but not everybody's rode Blue Streak at Conneaut Lake, which I'll
Yeah.
use as one of my favorite examples.
And another,
But it has to take that into account.
yeah. And in other words, also, it's not just as Bob said simply. It's not really it's not points. It's not how many people just voted for it like Golden Ticket Awards. It's a lot more exact and a lot more. It represents also
Right.
rides around the world too. There are rides down here that not as many people have ridden, but are still rated just as highly because you have those people that have ridden it rank it so highly. So it's a really
Right,
great list. It's
exactly.
a really great list. I enjoyed it. Over 100,000 coasters, 116,256 coasters were ranked Only 12,015 were in the actual final list, but that's amazing that many number of roller coasters in total with everyone that voted and everything listed off on their list. That's pretty awesome. So, yeah, number 1, Steel Vengeance. Number 2 is Zadra. Number 3 is Lightning Rod. Number 4 is El Toro. Number 5 is Fury 325. Number 6 is The Voyage. Number 7 is Untamed at Wallaby Holland. Number 8 is Maverick, Cedar Point. Number 9, Wildfire at Colmarden. And number 10 is Terran at Fantasia Island. So I just thought I'd run through the top 10 there. And maybe Zadra was interesting because I remember someone on last week's episode, I don't remember who it was, but somebody said, yeah, Zadra just doesn't get a lot of the same hype that I've heard other coasters do, other RMCs have. And I'm like, well, obviously it does because, I mean, this is, as we've stated, this is the enthusiast poll. I think most enthusiasts that have voted in this poll, like a good amount of those that we know and that we discuss with and see on the Twitter and Instagram and all that, probably voted in this poll, had a say in this poll, and it's up there pretty highly. So,
yeah,
I think Zadra just doesn't. You don't hear about it as much, or whoever was saying that. I can't exactly remember who, possibly because we're in the States, but I mean, I've heard a lot of great things about it from the European folk for sure. So, I don't know. I held my tongue there because I didn't really want to fully debate that on the episode 100, but it's definitely a prominent ride, and then that shows here on this poll here. Voyage being so low was disappointing. But I kind of figured, but it's actually a lot higher than I expected it as well, to be honest.
Yeah, the problem is I think there's just a lot of people that are like, they're not the majority, but there's a lot of people that are like, oh, wood, whatever. Like they just rate things low just because it's wood.
And there's honestly, there's a lot of people that just don't like the Voyage for some reason. I've heard a lot of people.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
And I don't understand them, but I hear
I don't either.
I think they're a minority, but they're vocal because I hear them quite a bit talking about, oh, it only runs good during Hollywood nights. How can a coaster that runs good once a year be so great? Or how can that be the best coaster in the world?
So another interesting thing is that there's 2 RMCs that get compared a lot, and that's Stormchaser and Twisted Timbers, and they are literally 19 and 20.
Yeah,
and Stormchaser is just above. Yeah, exactly. Twisted Timbers is, of all the RMCs I've been on, Twisted Timbers is my favorite. I love Twisted Timbers. And I was not so much a fan of Stormchaser, which is, I don't know, it's more, it felt uncomfortable for some reason.
Not from it. I didn't think it did much there. I didn't feel like it had the strong airtime that people were claiming it did. And I didn't really find it to just be that exciting of a ride. We talked about that on last week's show too. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it wasn't uncomfortable for me per se, but for sure was not the ride that I was expecting, to say the least.
Yeah. Another one that shocked me, Mystic Timbers is down at 43. I'm actually shocked about that. I mean, I wasn't expecting people to rate it as high as I do, but 43 to me seems low.
Nah, that's kind of where I expected it to be. To be honest,
maybe I guess. I mean, whatever. Apparently, it's there. So
I would have guessed 30s, 40s, because for me it's in my 20s, and I feel like the majority of enthusiasts that have probably voted in this poll had a little bit more credits than I did. So I figured it would slowly kind of creep its way down into the 30s or 40s. As I think when I ride more coasters, it probably will as well. I think Mystic Timbers is a great ride, but I think when you're rating every coaster in the world, I think that's about where I would say is a reasonable place. I don't know. That's just my take. I know some people will agree, and some people will disagree.
I mean, yeah, it's not. I just thought it would be a little bit higher. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of minor.
Something that surprised me was Ijanika actually at Fujiku Highland, because, I mean, I don't know about you, but I've heard people highly rate that thing, as well as like X2, and X2 is, I think, well above it. Also, X2 though surprised me.
No, it's not well above. They're all of them. Dino Konda, Jackania, and those 2. That's 30 and 31. And X2 is actually 26.
Yeah.
So all of the 4D coasters are actually really close to each other, which I thought was interesting.
And they're really low. I mean, I can't believe that Stormchaser and like Wicked Cyclone are above X2. And if X2 is worse than Wicked Cyclone, then I'm in for a treat because Wicked Cyclone was not that great. It was like the ending was really. I think it was a good RMC, but it was not anything mind blowing, to say the least. It was a really fun RMC, but if it's I don't know if it's really, I mean I've heard really great. I mean most people that I know that have ridden X2, as we talked with someone had rated it. We talked about top tens on our list, and someone had X2 number one. Someone had it in their top 10, and Timmy, our friend, our a frequent guest host when Bob is not here, you guys know him. He has it as his number like 3 or 4. I just know so many people that have it ranked in like their top tens, number one.
Yeah,
Just in that area there, and it surprised
I
me that's
think
so low.
I think the thing is I think it's a it's I think it almost. I mean, again, I haven't been on any of the 40s. Actually, I haven't been on any free spins yet.
Wait.
But I I think that it probably falls into the category of like the spinning coaster, where there's a lot of coaster enthusiasts that can't deal with spinning,
Yeah,
and
maybe yeah.
like automatically it's like a spinning coaster just ranks low because they just can't deal with it. It makes them sick. And I mean, in a sense, you have the flipping, which can affect people in that way. So I think that's probably why it kind of kind of looks lower, because I think those people that just can't deal with the flipping because their bodies just don't like it, they're obviously going to rank it lower. And I think that might be adding to that.
Yeah, that's possible. I think that's probably likely. I know I'm normally a anti spinner, but I think the free spins are fine. At least the ones that I've done so far. But there's different conditions. Different people have different conditions and can
Right.
tolerate different things for sure. All right. So lastly, I want to talk about. I'm surprised how high Fly at Phantasialand is. That's a brand new ride for this year, and I've heard some people. It's fantastically themed. It's beautiful. But I have heard some people say it's kind of not like in terms of coaster experiences. It's not really anything fantastic. It's a fun
Well,
ride.
I think what might be going on with that is, and I think it was Andrew Hyde actually mentioned this on our 100th episode. Um, is it's kind of like, I mean, Fly opened in the middle of this poll. So the majority of the people that wrote it and voted on it had it fresh in their mind. They remembered that experience of like, oh my god, the surrounding, like they had that, like, I don't know, you like sometimes you get that. It's like this new ride and it's like, oh my god, this is awesome. And then when you go back and you ride a little bit more, it's like maybe that wasn't quite what I remembered it being.
Yeah.
There hasn't been any time for anybody to have that second thought type thing because of the timing. So I think that's probably why Fly, and I think it was Andrew Hyde, but somebody mentioned it. But I agree with that. I really think I think that's why it rated so high, and I think next year we'll probably see that fall a little bit.
All right. Well, there's so much to talk about on this list, but we don't got the time to discuss it. I think there are some rides on there that need to be a lot lower. I think I saw Nitro pretty high up on the list, and I'm not a huge fan of that ride. So, but regardless, let's move on and let's get to the second half of the show here. Why don't we?
Why don't we?
That would have been good if you said that.
I know. I didn't think of it right away.
Well, just record yourself saying that real quick, and then I'll edit it in like to the exact point. Just say it. Just throw it on at the end of the.
Are you serious?
I think that would be a good change. It sounds kind of weird. I say, "Why don't we?" And then it just ends. If you say, "Why don't we?"
All
then
right.
it sounds like, "All right." And then the music starts
All
playing.
right. Yeah. Why don't we? That work?
Yep. Should I be confused or concerned?
B&M
My mom just sent me an article about how to prepare potatoes.
I don't know. Should you be preparing potatoes?
I don't know. Normally, I poke a few holes in my potatoes with a fork and then wrap them in foil before baking.
Oh, Clinton's calling you out
What?
on chat.
I love beat 'em hypers.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
I know. Nitro is just not a good one.
It's like the only one you hate.
Intimidator at Carowinds, I'm not a huge fan of.
Oh, shut up. I forgot about that. Quit. I-232 is awesome. I love it.
For a long time, Diamondback wasn't up there for me. Now it is. I liked it. My rewrite, it was pretty good. Still not my favorite, but it's good.
Diamondback is moody. And I really am starting to wonder if most B&M hypers are.
Nah. Polished Share is not moody. Polished Share always runs the same way every time.
Why is
For some
that
reason, it
filter?
Yeah.
Oh, because the
The
at sign. Probably thought it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Pam's iPad is done and her phone is dying, but she's watching.
She's at the park.
She's
I can just imagine her at the park right now. Like,
are they open? How late are they open?
I think they're open
Apollo.
till 10, maybe 9. Oh wait, yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's 10:40.
She's probably
But
home now.
she has to drive though. I think she's somewhat far. I think she's like 30, 40 minutes from the park still.
No, she's not that far.
I think Hampton's pretty. I don't know if it's. It might be like 20,
No.
30, 25, 30.
No, I don't think
30
it's
minutes.
30. I
Yeah,
think
it's 30. I just looked.
Whatever. If you say so.
I mean, I have family that lives in Hampton, and I drive from Busch Gardens.
Oh!
So I have a little bit of a experience there.
It closed at 10. She's home now. It takes 25 minutes.
She must live. I think she lives closer. She's living.
There you have it.
If you do Hampton city limits to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, it is 30 minutes.
When you do Hampton, it's going to the center of Hampton.
In the city of Hampton, yeah.
What are we doing the second half? I don't even remember.
Talking about the shop.
Oh, yeah, that.
And that's it. That's pretty much it. We should have done the poll in the second half.
What do you have? You haven't added any new products yet.
Yeah, but nobody's seen it. It's not published yet, so no one even knows that. You're the only one that knows that, Bob.
I know, but I want to see what you're working on.
I can add the Craig shirt. I'm thinking about doing an I Know Pittsburgh shirt, too. That would be pretty great.
Oh, my God. This is going to be forever. I know Pittsburgh. Yes, do the shirt.
I think so. And you, oh my God, you could wear it around. That would be great. But what should it be? Should it be like your face on, like with Pittsburgh behind you, or
face?
Should it just be a picture of Pittsburgh and I Know Pittsburgh, and then quote Bob K. Mertz, Coach Talk Podcast.
No, Bob knows Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So, Clint, did you listen to our 100th episode?
I don't know. I feel like I Know Pittsburgh is more iconic, though.
You said Bob knows Pittsburgh. That's what you actually said.
True. And that's what Clint said, too. Not this Clint, the other Clint.
So you're missing out on this. I was having an argument with Clint Novak about Kennywood, and James kind of sort of agreed with me partially, and then kind of sort of agreed with Clint
I agree with
partially.
Both, yeah. I see both. Yeah.
So then he goes, he says, Clint, you know all the like business stuff and blah blah blah. And then he goes, and Bob knows Pittsburgh. And immediately I knew where it was going. And immediately Clint's like, "Oh, that got him far. He knows Pittsburgh." So like it was just, and it just became this
I mean,
thing.
I was kind of joking too there. I was like, yeah, Clint, you
And
know the
it
business and
stuck.
all.
Like,
You understand the process of all of that. So you know all of that, whatever you want us to call it. And then I was like, Bob knows Pittsburgh, kind of as a joke. And then
and
Clint
that's
was
all he
like,
said.
oh, Bob knows Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Okay.
oh man, it was funny. It was really funny. Between that and Craig, like I think that's what's going to stick with us from episode 100. And Craig was the bot we were using to. Oh yeah, that came up too. That's going in the.
Funland.
Oh yeah, by the way,
Funland, Charlestown.
I don't even know. If you, are you even aware that I live in West Virginia now? That's how the conversation went. It basically Funland. Yeah, I live in West Virginia now, Martinsburg, which is still like kind of Northern Virginia, but
It's going to Funland,
not
Charlestown.
really. But yeah, so I was joking with him because I used to drive right past, like basically right past the Funland Fairfax location, and then I moved and like they were closed that time, so I moved. So I told him that he needs to open one up in Charlestown, which I drive through on my way to work, just so I can drive by another Funland.
Oh, boy.
And that's where the whole
Did he have fun with that one?
yeah, volcano and kangaroo.
He said if Kangaroo comes back up, he's like, all right, I'm going to put Kangaroo on the roof next to Volcano in Funland, Charlestown.
Well, my family's in Pittsburgh. I've never had an issue buying fireworks, which was awesome because even before they were legal in Pennsylvania, I still could buy them in Pennsylvania because I was out of state. But now Pennsylvania's like, we don't care. Fireworks are completely legal everywhere in Pennsylvania now. It's amazing. There's not many of those left. So I actually live in Martinsburg, so I'm like right on 81. In fact, I can kind of see 81 from my window.
You know what's not a funny movie?
What's that?
Elf.
Really?
You know how many times I had to sit through that movie in middle school and high school, and I'm like, it was funny like the first time I watched it. And I love Will Ferrell, but that movie's just not funny.
Oh, I like it.
There's certain funny parts, I guess, but it gets really annoying sometimes. But that's my rant for the show.
So apparently I-81 is the place for coaster enthusiasts.
The worst highway in the nation. Get you right to Dollywood though.
Is it?
Yeah, you ride 81 all the way down to Tennessee to Dollywood.
When I went down, I took 15.
I-95 and 64. That's me right there. I got the two big ones right next to my house.
I used to be I-66.
Yeah, 81.
I don't think 81's that terrible.
81 is awful. It's so bad.
I think 80 is worse than 81.
No.
And 64, I hate 64.
64's
I despise 64. Hate 64.
Goodbye.
Penguin doesn't live by an interstate. He's out. We'll see you later, Cam. So, Greg, where in 81? That would
I think you
be
said Craig.
what? No, Greg.
So Craig.
81. That's like Harrisburg, Hershey, right? I mean, yeah, I take 81 up. Why can't I think of this? I'd like drive to Hershey 81.
All right, should we get back to recording the show here in a sec?
Why would we do that?
Why would we record the podcast on the podcast? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you're probably not far from me either, then, actually. Yeah. Gettysburg is 15.
You guys should do a meetup.
Like, I'll meet up at. Well, Pennsylvania's like shut down now, I heard. Effective midnight tonight. I don't know. My dad texted me, so I don't know the whole details, but I guess at midnight, like everything's shutting down because of the pandemic. And actually, Virginia just announced that starting on what I think it was Monday, 12 a.m. till 5 a.m. is like, you're not allowed to be out between midnight and 5 a.m. Yeah, and out at a rest stop. It'll have to be West Virginia because, like, so far we don't care here. And actually, West Virginia, I've always said this. West Virginia actually has the nicest rest areas of any state I've been in.
North Carolina has some
Yeah.
really nice ones.
I know that Clinton. Are you talking about the 12 to 5 thing? Like, what? Like, what is that? I don't understand it at all. Like, everybody's usually sleeping then anyway. Like, what? I don't get that at all. I mean, thank God I'm essential, because usually I'm like many times I'm driving home from work after midnight, but I mean, I'm okay since I'm working, but yeah, it's bizarre. Like, you can't, as long as you don't catch COVID between 12 and 5. I don't know.
So it is indoor dining is prohibited now. Outdoor dining is still allowed, as well as takeout foods and services.
Is this Pennsylvania?
Yeah, alcohol services are still permitted. Indoor gathering and events of more than 10 people are prohibited. Outdoor gathering and events more than 50 people are prohibited. In-person businesses serving the public may only operate at up to 50% capacity.
Does that
Indoor
affect Hershey?
gyms are prohibited. All in-person businesses and entertainment industry in the public within a building or indoor area are prohibited. Voluntary activities sponsored or approved by school entries, governing body, or administration are suspended. And all schools and public schools, all sports at public schools, non-public schools, and private schools are prohibited. So it doesn't sound like school is necessarily prohibited, but school sports are. That's directly from the Pennsylvania Health Department or whatever. I don't know. Protecting Pennsylvanians, the PA Department of Health. Yeah.
Sheets falls under a store, so they're not going to close that.
Yeah, 50% probably.
Which they've already, well, actually, I don't think they actually reduced the capacity for any kind of
stocks. Do you get it?
Oh yeah, I see. I couldn't make out what. Now I see it. Sheets is very essential. Sheets, man. Sheets is essential. I need my sheets pop.
It's soda.
It says, James, P-O-P.
I know.
Sheets pop. And I still haven't really realized. I don't know if Martinsburg says pop or not.
No, they don't.
How do you know? It's a lot more like Pittsburgh here than Northern Virginia.
Southern. They're still considered the South, though. I mean,
Southern. It's like we have all kinds of Pittsburgh establishments here.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. Just because you want it to be soda doesn't mean it is.
In the South, it's soda. West Virginia is still considered part of the South, so it would be considered soda. That would just be. That's just kind of the rule. The North calls it pop, the South calls it soda. The West is just a bunch of random things.
In Harrisburg's pop, I believe, and it's only like an hour from here. So
Okay.
Delilah's is is that what you're talking about? Delilah's? I'm not sure if that's the spelling or not. Clint, is that what you're asking? Delilah's?
Oh, wow, I'm actually very. This is surprising.
What?
I can't send this to you on here because it'll ruin your video. Crap. All right, well, I have a map up. I'm just going to explain it to you because I knew there was a map. So it's soda in like the eastern part of Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida, and then all the way up, even like into Pennsylvania, into like New Jersey. It's like all the eastern portion of those states. Then
I know. Like Philly side is soda.
Then the western side of Pennsylvania and a little bit of New York, which New York and Buffalo, where I go all the time, they call it pop. Ohio, West Virginia is literally a red, but there's a little. They do where you're at, might call it pop.
Well, you're breaking up.
Okay, so in the north,
I didn't hear what you said.
In the north of West Virginia, there's a little bit of blue, which means there's a little bit of pop, but the majority is kind of red. So there's some pop maybe.
Yeah, because it's that point outside of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's that's where it's blue, and then the rest is.
Yeah.
I think over where you're at though, in that weird little place you're at, it's very red. So.
Wow. Yeah. So Clint Delilah's, there's, just holy crap, the stories that I know that I am not gonna talk about while we're on YouTube. It's interesting though. That's And that's why I figured that's what you were asking, because I had mentioned Pittsburgh businesses and you said, I know people that have some stories. It's interesting.
Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright. The stars lie all the day and all the stars at night. You like that movie, Christmas Vacation?
Yes, I do.
That's
How do
not
you
what
not
it's.
like Chevy?
Oh yeah, I love Chevy Chase. He's one of my favorites. All right.
I gotta rewatch.
What?
I gotta rewatch Community.
Yeah, I have never watched that series.
I just finished rewatching The Good Place. Very good show. Highly recommend.
I have not watched it or Community. I need to watch those shows. I'm watching The Sopranos right now. And then I'm gonna.
The Good Place. The Good Place isn't long. It was only 4 seasons, but they're also like 20-minute episodes.
Oh yeah.
So like
it's an hour episode. So.
yeah, I know. But I mean, like if you're gonna like do those two, like Good Place is like one that you can like knock off pretty quickly. I think I finished. I think I watched it. I need to watch that. I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, my brother's been telling me to watch The Wire. There's some show that's on, and maybe anyone in the chat can tell me. And I think it's my stepmom maybe watches it. Yeah, it's her. It's historically, it's like they go back in time or something. They're like time travelers. I'm just gonna look up time traveler shows.
Doctor Who?
No, it's not Doctor Who. It's not. It's not Doctor Who. can't. Is it? I think it's Outlander. That's the show.
Outlander.
Yeah, it's a Netflix show. I heard it's really good.
It's also a car.
Yeah, I know that. After serving as a British Army nurse in World War II, Claire Rendall is enjoying a second honeymoon in Scotland when her husband, an officer, are looking forward to a new career in Oxford historian. Suddenly, Claire is transported to 1743 and into a mysterious world where her freedom and her life is threatened. It was a book too. I've heard it's good. I don't know though. All right, we probably getting you guys turned off there. We're talking about completely random stuff. So let's get back to some talking about the Kosher Talk podcast shop. That's totally kosher related.
Ronald Moore. Is that Outlander?
I believe so. I'm not too sure though, because I haven't been too much into that show. I think he does do Outlander though. I think he did Battlestar Galactica too, which is a weird show.
Why is it listed as Facebook Watch?
What do you mean?
Outlander. The network is listed as Facebook Watch and Stars.
On mine, it literally says Netflix. I mean, it's on Netflix. It's probably on. Oh well, I'm not gonna.
Huh. It's interesting. Yeah, a lot of the posters have stars.
It's Stars, but it's on Netflix. Like Stars does the production of the show. I mean, but it's on Netflix. Like I'm on Netflix right now and it's on there.
Yeah, but well, Netflix also is. They also historically rebrand shows and call them Netflix originals when they're actually not. Actually, they did that with The Good Place. The Good Place was NBC, but then it was also on Netflix and listed as a Netflix original. Because I think what it was is Netflix had the carrier in a different country or something. So that's like how Netflix kind of like backdoored into the rights to it. So that's probably what happened here is Stars actually produced the show, but Netflix got the rights to like other countries. And then like they kind of had the backdoor access into like, oh, well, we're streaming it now. So.
All right. Regardless, it's on Netflix. All right. Let us talk about some roller coasters, or at least let's finish the podcast. It's not really roller coasters, but it's gonna be a short second half. We're gonna have to milk it with this shop talk.
All right.
You ready?
Let's do it.
Hey, what's going on?
Ready? 3, 2.
All right, and we're back from the break. Talking about some exciting stuff coming up for Kosher Talk. We discussed it a little bit on episode 100, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the details now of the Kosher Talk podcast shop. A lot of you guys have been requesting shirts and requesting some sort of merchandise from the podcast, and what better way to celebrate 100 episodes than to release that for some of you that want that option and would like to represent the show some. So we did, and really excited, and we're going to do a little bit of a product overview in a sense, just talk about some of the stuff we're going to have, some of the stuff we literally might even come up with ideas while talking on the show, to be honest. But yeah, we're going to be...
It's highly possible.
It's pretty likely, I'm assuming. First, we have just a plain Kosher Talk podcast shirt, the logo on it. It's a white t-shirt. short sleeve. Probably will do a long sleeve version of it as well. I don't know why I didn't actually do that right after I did that, but there will probably be a long sleeve shirt version as well. But yeah, it's just the logo, plain and simply right there. 'Cause I know some people like the simplicity of that, just having that. They don't really want a design or any text, just the logo.
Yeah, it's a nice simple shirt. I actually the other thing that I noticed is the other logo that you have, or not the logo, the your source for everything roller coasters that has the text. You don't have a short sleeve version of that,
Yeah,
so you need to fix that as well.
yeah. There's gonna be a lot more options. We have. So I actually designed a, I think, pretty cool looking emblem symbol design here, where it's like a circular text, and then inside of that circle is a inverted roller coaster. I think it's Alpengeist. I sampled that off of possibly. I think I took in a photo of it. So that's what that is, and I think it looks pretty cool. I really actually liked it. I think it looks kind of I can't think of the word, but if you've ever seen like Vineyard Vines or Simply Southern, they have like those shirts where they have like the emblem in the middle, and then it's like a nice color around it. So I think it's an interesting design. I think it's good. So if you guys want something more than just the logo slapped on a shirt, there's that too. And we're actually gonna do 100th episode shirts that I'll have released as well. There'll probably be one that just says 100th episode of Coaster Talk, and then there'll probably be one as well. Oh, there's definitely gonna be one that says I can't remember. What did we decide on? Well, we could probably with Craig. I can't remember exactly what the wording was. I already have the design. I just don't have it pulled up right now.
I've been unexpectedly disconnected.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then there's like the Craig guy there. So that's a good shirt. That'll be up there if you guys want a 100th episode. It'll be limited edition, limited run shirt there. And then there'll probably be one that says "I know Pittsburgh" for Bob. There'll probably be one that says that.
I do know Pittsburgh, apparently.
And then again, there'll just be a 100th episode shirt. So, there'll be some good stuff for the 100th episode. Again, this is going to be after this podcast is released on the Monday. I'll be uploading the shop. So if you're listening to this after the initial release of the podcast, so unless you are on it, as soon as the podcast releases, you listen to it, which probably you're not. So most likely you can just go to coachtalkpodcast.com/shop right now, and you'll be sent over to the store there to look at our products and merchandise. We have a mask as well with the logo on it. I know some people like representing, different coaster places, different amusement parks, different websites. I know a couple of different brands have put their coaster logo on a mask. So we decided to do that, and if you guys are interested in that, honestly, that might be something that we do too, just me and Bob, just to have as well. So even if you guys don't really feel the need to, that's something that I might purchase. That might be one of the few things. I don't really want to buy all of the merchandise, but I don't want to be the only source of income here. But I'm gonna probably buy the mask. We have a phone case for both iPhone and Apple, iPhone and Samsung.
iPhone and Apple.
Yeah, they're different. They're different things. You didn't know that? All right, iPhone and Samsung. Yeah, we have two different ones. It's interesting to me the different. Are you on the website or the shop? Can you look?
Yeah.
You see, like it looks like two different shades of white for the Samsung and the iPhone case. It looks like more of a blue white for the. I can't tell if that's just the image, but
I think it's the type. What I think is it's the type of plastic. I think, like it to me, it looks almost like. Oh wait, no, actually. It is a different color because whenever you go into each of them, you can actually pick different. You can pick the alternate colors as well.
Yeah. All right.
So the Samsung case is like a pearl white.
Yeah, it's more. It has more blue in it.
Plastic. But you can get the iPhone in that color as well. But the color that you see for the iPhone, I don't know, it's weird. Yeah, the Samsung case has different colors, actually.
Oh yeah, it does. I think the iPhone case has a couple of different colors too.
couple, but not as much. Oh yeah, it does. Never mind.
All right.
I don't know.
After the phone cases, we have another one of the. So we have two different. So also with the Your Source Everything roller coaster, circular text with the roller coaster in the middle, which is the inverted roller coaster. You have two different color patterns. You have the original one we talked about, which is the white text circular, and then the blue. There's a blue, like a light blue coaster in the middle, and then there's also a light blue text with a black coaster in the middle. So you can purchase that as well. I think both look great. Some people, I just made that one for so there could be a white shirt as well in case there were some people wanted a white shirt. We have some stickers with the logo, the text logo with just Coaster Talk Podcast, and the actual logo with the headphones and the microphone and the roller coaster coming around it, which is great. And then we have a tote bag. I made a tote bag because there's actually a considerable amount of people that requested one, and I know
those things are
pretty
handy.
popular. Yeah. So there's one with the black logo right now. I'm sure I'll include different logos. The thing is, I wish you could just with this shop. I wish you could orchestrate it in a sense that I could put all these different logos into one product, and then you could choose the different logos too. But it has to be in the sense where I'm gonna have to have a bunch of the same products with just different logos on them. Because I know some stores you go to, you can like select different colors, and then the colors will change the logo and all that, and you can do all that, and then you can also just select the different type of logo you want. This is not that case. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be fine. But that's the one issue we might run into. You might be like, oh wait, there's a bunch of different tote bags. What's the difference? And then you see, oh, there's actually different logos on each and every one. So that's why there's not just a bunch of duplicate products. There's a reason for that.
You can always email us if you want something different too.
Yeah,
look
for
at
sure. Well, that is our shop for now. We'll probably have some more stuff later. I can't think of any. I mean, I think a lot down the road. I don't know. I thought about maybe doing like.
Just always check our shop. We might come up with an idea and put it up there for a short bit of time, and you know, see how it goes.
Every time there's like a running joke or something, we might throw something up there like a limited run. For people that found that amusing or interesting and wanted to share that with the world, so to speak. I know I was considering doing like a really cool design where, and I'm still looking into doing this. The thing is, I use GIMP, which is basically Photoshop. It's just open source, but it's not really meant for designing like graphics. It's meant for editing photos so when I'm trying to like do graphic design in a photo editor. So there's another open source like actual graphic design program I'm looking into getting, and then I might be able to do more intricate and more interesting products and designs here. So once that happens, I'm actually thinking of doing a T3 and then having like T3 in the middle, and then having like one side is Bob and it's like I love it, and the other side's like me and I hate it. It's like something like that. That would be kind of funny because, or just different. We have so many different opinions. Like just doing shirts like that where it's like the two different sides, or maybe even just doing one shirt where it's like I love teeth, and like we see people at the parks, we're like, oh, that guy agrees with James. That guy, if it became big enough where we actually have a considerable amount of fans, it'd be kind of cool to walk around the park and possibly see one. It would be very rare, I'm sure, but maybe see someone wearing a shirt that's like, oh, he agrees with me, or no, he agrees with Bob, or vice versa. So that is the shop. I'm thinking about it. We have a lot of ideas. I know you guys have wanted that for a while, so that is now available to those of you that want to partake. For sure is going to be an interesting journey, and I'm excited to take it. It's the next step in our long podcast experience.
Yeah. So let's talk about the poll we did last week. Oh wait, let's not.
Wait, what?
We didn't.
Yeah, we didn't leave it off with a poll. I kind of wish we had in a way, but we did not have a weekly poll for this last week.
I wonder how many people were actually done listening to all of the 100th episode.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Which let's also throw this out there. If you only listened to one podcast, one quote podcast unquote, you may not have heard the whole thing. There's actually 2 parts last week.
Yeah.
So if you only listened to one post, you probably missed the other half.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun. So go back, start with part one, go to part two. I mean, actually, if you listen to part two first and listen to part one after, I don't think you'll be that messed up. But
Yeah, there's no real
there, I
conflict
think
there.
there might be a couple references that you might not get, but it's minor. But yeah, check out both parts of it. It was a lot of fun, and let us know what you think of it too. Um, what your thoughts are. Send us an email and let us know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But how about we do a poll for this week into next week?
Yeah, let's do it. Look, we gotta get back on that trend. I think we'd gone literally every single episode up until our previous episode doing a weekly poll. So that was like a big break of like I don't even know, like 70, 80 episodes of straight weekly polls. So I think that was pretty impressive that we could think of that many every week. We just had to weekly poll, weekly poll, weekly poll, weekly poll, weekly poll, weekly poll, weekly poll.
I'll tell you what, though, it's a struggle sometimes.
It is because you have to think about it. What did we already talk about? What's an interesting topic? What will people want to talk about? You got to think about all that. It's not just what do we want to talk about. It's what do we think the audience will have an opinion on, and what will people want to discuss some. So it's definitely
Wait,
not easy.
coaster enthusiasts don't have opinions. What are you talking about? There's
No,
no opinion.
they won't disagree with us ever.
It's all fact. All facts.
Exactly. All right. Well, we will have a weekly poll for next week's show, and we'll continue. We'll pick up where we left off with the weekly polls. Of course, doing them every week, hence the name. What park do you prefer, or what park do you think has the best B&M collection? I guess you could say what park do you prefer? Which B&M collection do you prefer at a park? Is this week's weekly poll. So there's so many different B&M collections. There's a possibility we've talked about this on the show before. It's been a long time though. We've talked about B&Ms before a lot, but I don't know if we've ever totally discussed what park we think has the best collection. Because I hear this talked about so much, and I was telling you before the show kind of a little bit about why I thought this was a good idea. Because people, I swear, go to every park, and there's a lot of parks that have good B&M collections, and they go, I think this has the best B&M collection. I think this has the best B&M. Every time I go to a park, I hear someone say that, and I'm like, yeah, but which one really does have the best one? Like, I'll go to Cedar Point, and people are like, oh, this has a great B&M collection. I'll go to Busch Gardens, where everyone goes, I think that is the best B&M collection. Go to Dorney Park, this has a great B&M collection. It's like I hear that all the time, and I want to hear what actually has the best B&M collection. That would be an interesting, like, let's hear from the audience who we think, and let's see if we get a collective. I'll be curious if we see like a lot of similar responses, or if it's going to be very different.
Wouldn't you agree, Kennywood?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, probably. Phantom's Revenge. It's a great B&M. I love it. Thunderbolt. It's my favorite, actually.
It wouldn't be an M.
Exactly. That was the B&M's first wooden coaster. Walter and
the premier B&M.
They were like 10 months old when they designed that ride. Back in the 50s. Yeah, so let us know your thoughts on that. Again, you can do that by going to coachtalkpodcast.com/poll, or you can email us, james@coachtalkpodcast.com, or bob@coachtalkpodcast.com, or email us. We mentioned a couple of times tonight emailing us to get in contact with us about the shop or anything else. So definitely that's how you can access me or Bob on a personal level. And then also, if you want to just contact the show, there's also a contact page, and that's where you can leave like audio files, or you can leave comments or criticism, or hopefully maybe some positive reviews if you want. Anything you want to share with us, feel free to go to coachtalkpodcast.com/contact and do that as well there. Social media, check us out there. YouTube, Coaster Talk Podcast on YouTube. Instagram @CoasterTalkPod. Facebook @CoasterTalkPod. Twitter @CoasterTalk_pod. And then also Bob's Twitter account @CoasterTalkBob. And then, of course, a new plug I'm going to have to give now. You can check our shop out at coastertalkpodcast.com/shop. All right, that is episode 101. It was an interesting show. I think we,
On our way to 200.
yeah, for sure. I think we talked about all the news on last week's show, though, so we didn't really have too much to discuss there, but it was nonetheless, it was a great, I had fun. That was a good episode.
Yeah, indeed.
All right, well, we'll see you guys all next week. Oh, man.
Yay.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of
Thanks,
a
Greg.
lot of the
Glad
regulations,
you can stop by.
a lot of the regulations that states are doing is not infecting theme parks, which is good.
Yeah, 'cause they're
Pennsylvania,
outside.
Virginia. Yeah, I know. It's good. That's all I care about. As long as I can still fly and get to parks, which I haven't done in a while, but I'm
Yeah, but
hoping.
flying is like as inside as you can get.
I know, but as long as airports stay
Lock,
open, 'cause I'm
lock you in
trying
a
to get to.
still.
Hopefully, I mean, the spring break. I'm trying to go to possibly California because I have not gotten to California.
Oh, I want to go to. I just want to go ride X2. Like that's it.
You want to go to
That's. I
California?
mean,
Me and Timmy are going to California our spring break probably. If California's open and if everything's, I think by spring break, California should be all right. Opening parks hopefully. I don't know if they'll be back to
no,
like full
there's
function, but
there's a lot of unknowns right now. I am not making plans far in advance.
I mean, I'm not making plans yet. I'm just kind of hoping and just kind of throwing that out there. If not, we'll go to Texas probably because Texas will stay open.
Yeah, I mean, just trips in general. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know what my situation is going to be.
Excuse me. That was gross, and I apologize.
You are gross.
Mr. Redface. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Why do I? One of these days, I'm actually going to remember the.
I did not see your message until now. I can't look at messages only on my phone because I have your screen pulled up.
Oh, I know. Well, oh yeah. You always send me messages, and then I lose my train of thought, and then I'm like you said, you're like, hurry up, Bob, and I'm like trying to read, and then next thing you know, I lose my train of thought, and then I'm like you end up making me take longer because I need to try to figure out where I was at.
The only time I say hurry up, Bob, is when you go on 40-minute rants about one thing, and I'm like, oh my god, we haven't even gotten to the next news story yet. I didn't say that tonight either.
No, I didn't say you did.
Oh, I thought you were saying I did.
I want to go I want some. Those Nintendo people that they used to the. Oh, I can't remember the name. Nintendo hired people to literally sit in the office, play games, and answer phone calls of people asking for help with games.
Uh-huh.
I forget what the name of them was. We need that for roller coasters. I want
Theme
that
park
job.
tester. That's what that is, pretty much. Remember that job?
No, it wasn't game counselors. That's what it is. That's what it was. That was the great
That's what theme park testing kind of. You ride roller coasters and you review them and you tell people about them. Now, remember that job we talked about a year ago? Man? Wow, I can't believe it's been a year now. But yeah, I think that was before COVID because I think it was.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was. Yeah. I don't know. It's been a while. It's been well over a year.
That's kind of crazy.
Way.
It's kind of crazy that we've been doing this for over a year now. It feels like something that's so brand new still.
That was very crazy.
In a sense. Coaster counselor.
That's what I'm going to be, a coaster counselor. Although it is actually funny. My sister's back isn't the best. But she
That's
loves
hilarious.
roller coasters. So she's constantly asking me well, do you think I could handle this one? Do you think I could ride this one? And I find myself really thinking about it. like to a really crazy level of like, well, yeah, I think this will be okay because you're gonna have this kind of like. I find myself really thinking about like the impact on different parts of your body of a coaster, like especially the ones that I've ridden a lot. Um, so like, yeah, I could go ride roller coasters and like tell people like, oh, this is what. No park would ever do that though because like your back hurts, don't ride. Like, but that's not what people want to hear. All right, Nyquist. Oh yeah, I gotta select the audio. Be a cut. That's who would hire that though? Like, would that be maybe like Intamin would hire me as a coaster counselor?
All right. Well, I think that's it. I think that's
That's
possible.
it.
I think that's all she wrote for tonight. Thank you guys for
Think
joining
so,
us and sticking
yes,
around.
guys. Thank you.
It's cool. Yeah, I think we're done. All right, so we'll see you guys all on next week, next Thursday at 9. We'll be here again. If you guys want to tune back in.
Yep. Have a good weekend, guys. And next week or like we're not. We should be like Friday where we could just say weekend, or like Monday where we could say week. No, huh?
Have a good rest of your week.
Yeah, Thursday night. Set up a reminder.
Tomorrow's Friday. Have a good Friday. There we go. You can say that.
Yeah, have a good Friday.
See you guys.
Good night.